The first thing I noticed was the unfamiliar weight in the pocket of his jacket, slung over the back of our kitchen chair like he owned the place, and me. I fished out the key, turning it over in my palm, trying to remember if we'd ever made a copy for someone, maybe for emergencies. But the shape was wrong, the tag was faded, and it was definitely none of ours. The morning sun was still bleeding through the window, catching on the ring he'd given me the night before, our anniversary, the one he said he'd never forget. My heart pounded against my ribs as I stared at the door across the hall, the one our neighbor always locked twice. Curiosity isn't the right word for what possessed me. I needed to know. I walked across the hall barefoot, key slick in my hand, and slid it into the lock. It turned, smoother than ours ever did. The apartment was quiet, but the air was heavy with perfume, not mine. There was a wine glass on the table, lipstick thick around the rim, her heels abandoned by the couch, a shirt I recognized, his, sprawled on the floor like a punchline. My chest burned. Every late night, every muffled call, every shower he took the second he walked through the door suddenly made sense. I stood there, breathing in the evidence, and realized I was shaking not from anger, but from relief. The fights, the accusations, the way he'd look at me like I was the crazy one for suspecting, suddenly I wasn't crazy. I was right. I wanted to scream, to break something, but all I could do was laugh, bitter and wild. The truth was uglier than I thought, but at least it was real. I traced my finger along the photos on their fridge, noticing for the first time how his smile looked different with her. I locked the door behind me, dropped the key on the doormat, and walked back to my own apartment, feeling lighter than I had in months. Maybe the worst betrayal isn't what someone does to you, but what you let yourself believe for the sake of love. I poured myself a drink, raised it to the empty room, and wondered who I'd be now that I'd stopped pretending. In the end, the only thing he really gave me was the key to my own escape.